Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us this Friday morning for the exciting topic of assignment of benefits. We'll get started in just a few moments, just waiting for everybody to log on, so we will start at 11 o'clock. We're just waiting another moment for everyone to get a chance to log on, and we'll get started at 11 o'clock. Okay? We're just about ready to get started. I'm going to wait one more moment because I see a bunch of people still logging on, so I'm going to hold on one more moment and we'll get started. Well, I'll go ahead and get started then. I do see some people still coming onto the webinar, but we'll just start off with the introduction so we take some time to get into the webinar. This won't be very long, probably about 30 minutes, unless we get a lot of questions. But I want to thank everybody for taking some time out of their Friday morning to join us for this webinar, again, on the exciting topic of assignment of benefits. We have a few of the other territory managers on the line with us, and actually all of them are on the line with us today. We have Mr. Mike Price, Central Florida Territory Manager. Mike, do you want to say hi?
Good morning, everyone.
We have the West Coast Territory Manager, Mr. Mitchell Stutz.
Good morning, everyone.
And myself, the East Coast Territory Manager, Stacy Scott, who got the luck straw of the draw and is going to be presenting today. But hopefully the other guys will chime in a little bit for me. You should be able to type in the live chat box. So we are going to have we are going to have a live Q&A at the end, so if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat box. I'm going to try to hold all questions and answer them at the end of the webinar, so we keep it flowing. If it's a simple yes or no answer, the guys will type the answer in for you while I'm presenting the webinar. But if for more in detailed answers, I will go ahead and answer them at the end of the webinar. So let's go ahead and get started then. Okay. So let's talk about why are you here today? Basically, we want to learn about what assignment of benefits is. And can everyone see the second slide? It looks like, let me know if the second slide's coming up for everybody. I still see the first one. Let's see. Okay, we look like
It's up on my screen.
Okay. All right, just want to make sure. Okay, so everything's looking good there. All right, so, as a Florida agent, I know all of you know there's a problem. It's a growing issue. It's called assignment of benefits. You've heard about it, but when I'm talking to agents in the field, some of you may not be sure exactly what is assignment of benefits, or, how is this really impacting the industry? What's the big problem with assignment of benefits, which is why we're doing this webinar today, so you can be informed to talk to your insureds about it. So basically, in the most simple explanation of assignment of benefits, it's contract language which is used by some vendors, and it's usually water restoration companies, roofers, and mold assessors that transfer the ownership of the claim from the policyholder over to the vendor. So what's happening is the insured is signing away their rights to collect that settlement directly, and they're giving their rights of that claim to be handled by the third-party vendor. Now, I know as an agent you're thinking, why would somebody want to do this? Why would they want to sign their rights of a claim over? Well, the restoration companies and these third-party vendors come in, you're the policyholder, you just had a claim, and you're stressing out about your claim, and they're saying, look, we'll waive part of your deductible or all of your deductible. There'll be nothing out of your pocket. We'll take care of the claim for you, and you don't have to worry about anything. We'll deal with the insurance company. They'll pay us directly. So on the surface, that sounds great. You're already stressing about the claim. They're going to come in. They're going to waive your deductible. You're not going to have to pay anything in a pocket. They're going to handle everything for you. So that sounds great, and you sign that contract. But it's not so wonderful. As we know, as an agent, we're signing over those rights. So they now have no right to collect that claim settlement directly, dispute the claim in any way. They have given a third-party vendor the right to handle the claim for them. So as you can imagine, we've had a big increase of lawsuits from restoration contractors who are using the assignment of benefits provision in their agreement. So, it doesn't sound that bad right now. So what's the real problem with assignment of benefits? First of all, as I said, the policyholder is relinquishing control over that claim. They're handing over their control of that claim to the restoration company. But the bigger part is the vendors are billing the insurance carriers for grossly inflated amounts. They're billing carriers for work that just never even took place. They may came in and done some dry out work, and they're billing for dry out and repairs and things like that. And recently, I just had an agent tell me about a claim. A person had a water damage claim. They got referred to a water restoration company. The water restoration company came in and said, look, we'll take care of everything. We'll waive your deductible. We'll file with your insurance company. It's going to be nothing out of pocket, just like the typical claim. And the person signed the assignment of benefits. They went to the insurance company to find out they didn't have any water damage coverage. The same vendor went back to the insured. They were going to bill the insurance company $7,000 for this claim. They claimed that it was a $7,000 restoration, cleanup, and repairs. They went back to the insured after finding out there was no coverage and told the insured, look, we can do this on the side for $300. So while they were going to bill the insurance company $7,000, once there was no coverage, they offered to do the claim for $300. So as we can see, they're billing us for hugely, grossly inflated amounts. Now there's, there's restoration companies and roofers out there who are ethical, who are providing valuable services. They're doing a good job with both the insureds and the carriers. But there are some companies out there, and it's a growing trend of companies that are not so ethical and are taking full advantage of this policy or this contract language. And like the example above I told you about, the invoices are inflated up to 300% times greater than the industry standard. So I know as an agent, you're thinking, why don't we just dispute the inflated invoices? We know it's happening. Why are we even willing to pay it? We know what it should cost. We know what they're billing us is wrong. Why don't we just not pay it? Well, and what often happens is if the carrier doesn't agree to pay the inflated invoice, the vendor just files a lawsuit against the insurance carrier demanding payment. And at that point, we got attorney fees that rack up our side and their side. Now, the policyholder assigned their claim over to them, so they're taking place of the policyholder, so they qualify for us to pay their attorney fees. So we're now paying our attorney fees and their attorney fees on top of the claim. So in the long run, it's rising the cost of claims substantially, because not only are we paying a claim, we're paying now court cost on top of that. So what does a typical assignment of benefits claim look like? How does this get started? What's happening? Can everybody hear me? Like I saw someone mention that we have no sound.
You're still coming in loud and clear here.
Okay. Sometimes it might be their side. All right, well, I'll keep going. So a typical claim, what does it look like? How is this getting started? Basically what happens is a homeowner has a water leak and they contact a random plumber for assistance. And this is exactly how the claim started with the example I just told you about. Like I said, they were referred to a water damage restoration company. They called a plumber came out, fixed the leak, referred them to a restoration company, and now the plumber will typically receive a referral fee that's worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So where is this referral fee coming from? Basically, it's coming from the claim. So the restoration company convinces the customer to sign a contract with AOB language, assignment of benefits language, using that, we'll waive your deductible, we'll take care of everything. They then come back, they complete the water cleanup, they may complete a repair, and then they bill the insurance carrier directly with an inflated invoice. The insurance carrier comes back and says, nope, we're not going to pay this. This is not a $7,000 claim. This is a $500 claim tops. The restoration company files a lawsuit against the carrier if we don't agree to pay all or most of the invoice. And again, you have to remember, it's costing these restoration companies nothing to go to court. So even if they make $50 more than what it actually costs to repair it, it costs them nothing to get that extra $50. It looks like some people are having some trouble with the screen. Basically, just refresh your screen if you're having issues. It might have, on your side, if your internet's slow, sometimes it'll lock up. So I know you're thinking, why, I see the screen looks like it shrunk a little bit. Why, why isn't a solution been made about this? Why is this keep going on? We know what's happening. And basically, it lies in the legislator. We had a string of court decisions that's reinforced that only the legislator can fix this problem. And while there have been numerous attempts over the past several years to address the problem, they just haven't agreed to pass any meaningful reform on it. And from what I understand, they don't really understand the issue with it. So it's a problem because a lot of the legislators just don't really understand what the problem with assignment of benefits is. So to help this problem, a lot of the carriers, we have a lot of grassroots things going on to kind of make the consumers aware of the issue, to kind of get ahead of this problem before it keeps growing and growing and growing. We're educating our policyholders, American Tradition, Modern USA. We're actually going out and meeting with policyholders in mobile home parks and educating them about the claims process. Carriers are working with insurance organizations like FAIA to come up with solutions. Many of us are launching campaigns with printed material, blogs, recorded information. We actually have 2 videos out there, one on what to do after a claim and another one just on assignment of benefits on YouTube to make the public aware. We're, like this webinar, we are educating our independent agents. So you're aware of the issue and you can talk to your insureds about it if they have a claim. We're requesting that policyholders contact us first. So contact your carrier first. If we're talking to them first, we can tell them about not signing contracts. We can actually refer them to reputable companies out there. So we're the first point of contact. We make sure they get to the right carriers to do their work correctly. So as an independent agent, you may be asking, okay, I see this is affecting the carriers. How is this affecting me, though? Inflated invoices directly impact your loss ratio. As you know, claims go up, your loss ratio goes up. It could jeopardize your appointments potentially. High loss ratios, companies sometimes terminate for loss ratios, and if they're terminating for loss ratio, you have to remarket that book, and nobody likes remarketing a book, especially a book with a lot of claims. And also the continued AOB abuse leads to just rate increases for your clients. Claims cost is going up. It's going to be passed on to the policyholder, and then you'll start seeing increase of premiums. And of course, as an agent, what happens when people keep seeing increases of premium? They start shopping. And a lot of times, I know they don't contact you, they just start shopping at another agency. So again, it's a chance, a potential issue, you may be losing clients, you may be losing carriers. So it's definitely beneficial for you to be ahead of this issue as well. So what can you do about it? You want to be proactive and educate your clients about assignment of benefits. You want to make sure that they're contacting their carriers first. If your carrier has a particular vendor, make sure you suggest that vendor, recommend that vendor. Reach out to your carriers, find out who are they using, and make sure you're recommending those vendors. Be on the lookout for red flags. So if you have any of those vendors who come in and they want you to refer out to them, make sure they're not giving out referral fees. Make sure I know they're going to come in and hand you goodies and donuts, but ask them: Are you paying? Are you Are you giving referral fees? Are you having your clients sign assignment of benefits? So you want to ask those questions, and if the answer is yes, you want to send them on their way. You can eat the donuts. Take the donuts, but throw away their cards, send them on their way. Do not recommend them. You want to make sure that you're using reputable vendors. But the best place to really start is, talk to your carriers, find out who they're recommending, and then recommend those carriers, or just send the policyholders straight to the carrier. Let them talk to the carriers first, and the carriers will lead them, to the vendors that they prefer them to use. And that's just the way to keep ahead of this issue so it doesn't keep growing and growing and growing. And I'm sure at some point there'll be some reform put in there, but until that reform's put in there, it's really just up to the carrier and the agents to lead our policyholders in the right direction so this doesn't become a huge issue. Well, it's already a huge issue, but even a bigger issue in the future. So with that, is there any questions?
Stacy, we just got one.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. So are we going to go over how? So like I said, how to avoid these invoices. again, as far as every carrier has their specific vendors they like to use, so when I would check with all your vendors and find out which carriers that which restoration companies they prefer. We use Advanced Drying Systems. And we use Paul Davis Restoration for our company, but I know there's probably other vendors out there that some of the other companies are using. But if a vendor comes in office, again, just ask them, are you doing assignment of benefits? Are you giving any referral fees, for people referring people to your service? So those are the good questions to ask if somebody does come into the agency with donuts and goodies. Let's see, what do you do? I have another question here. You know, and that's, I'm not sure. It depends. I guess each carrier is a little different, but I know all carriers have their companies they like to use, but I think there's probably some different ones in there. So I mean, if there's one vendor particularly that maybe you're having a problem with the third-party vendor, maybe use one of the vendors from one of the other companies, because everyone knows how these companies work, and if they're recommending them, they're at least working well. So they may not be using XYZ company because they just haven't had any issues with them. But with us, we've had good experience with Advanced Drying Systems. So maybe if your other company doesn't use Advanced Drying Systems, you may want to recommend them. Can we share? Yes, you can share them. Right now we have the Event of a Claim video. It is live on our YouTube channel. The assignment of benefits has not been made live yet. We're still editing that one a little bit, but you can go ahead and link to our YouTube channel for what to do in the event of a claim. And yes, you can get a copy of this presentation. We will go ahead and we will email a link out for the replay for everybody, so everybody can have the replay. Also, if you would like the actual slides, if you send an email, I'll put an email in the box here. If you want to send me an email or to me, or any of or your territory manager, we can get you a copy of the slides as well. And let's see, we have a couple questions here. So you have a customer that is trying to tell your insured to file a claim. Okay, hold on here. It looks like we got a couple about here. Okay, so we have quite a few questions. All right. Hold on, well, I'm going to answer them. They're scrolling off. They're asking them so quick, they're scrolling off my screen before I have a chance to read it. Okay. Oh, are we getting... Okay, and somebody grab the emails that are coming up so we can send them for the slides. And just copy and paste them. Let's see. Sumer's trying to... Okay. I mean, you could put a list of vendors. If some of you put, I know someone's asking about, giving them at the time of writing a policy. You could put, I'm sure you could put reputable vendors in there if they have a claim. I know I used to give out folders when I wrote homeowners insurance back in the day. Let's see. And I'm trying to get to the questions, and it's like they're coming off the screen before I can even read them. Okay, so we're getting a lot of people asking for slides. Okay. To call. if they're hesitant to call the company, have them contact you. I know sometimes they're worried about putting a claim in because they're not sure how much the damage is going to be. You know, if they are worried about contacting their insurance carrier first, you know, I would suggest, you know, try to get them that way. If they can't, talk to them. You'll have a list of reputable vendors. Try to get them to contact you first, at least. A lot of my agents do have the people just, you know, tell them you have a claim, contact us. We'll lead you through the process. I didn't know about assignment of benefits for auto, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I'm scrolling up through the chat. It's just what's happening is more people are chatting, and it's bringing it down before I even have a finished chance to read the questions. Hold on, I think we're missing one here.
I will say Caleb is exactly right. Jennifer is a genius.
Did I miss any questions here? Let's see. Oh, there's a question on the roof. Can someone answer this one about the question on the roof that they spent $50 to get an inspection? Okay, so I think, are you asking if they should have somebody come out to see how much the damage is before they file the claim? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I think they're just saying, you know, have the insured obtain a roof inspection before proceeding. You know, if they have been approached by a roofer, they've gotten up on the roof
Oh,
and
okay.
tell
Yeah.
them yes, they have damage. You know, they either do or they don't, and sometimes they don't, obviously. Um, so that's not a bad suggestion.
Oh, I see. Okay, so if someone has a assignment of benefits abused and they have nothing, yeah, once they sign that the right over to the third-party vendor, they really have. So if the vendor doesn't do any of the work, they have no recourse. It's basically they've signed their complete um, their authority on that claim over to the third-party vendor. So if the third-party vendor doesn't do the work or never comes out or doesn't finish it, they really have no recourse. They can't come back to the insurance company now and say, well, they didn't finish the work. It's all about the third-party vendor at that point. Oh, okay, I was telling, not asking. Okay. That's why I was confused if it was a question. So Brandy said she was just saying that yeah, they should have a roof certification first before. Okay, thank you, Brandy. And so let's see. I think, did we get all the questions? Is there any other questions out there? If they didn't sign assignment of benefits, then they're still in control of the claim, so there's not an issue there.
I don't know of a bad list.
I'm not sure we could actually do that because then the company could come back and say that we're ruining their reputation.
Yeah.
So that might be an issue, actually putting it out there.
Hopefully, individual agencies might become aware of companies in their area that are doing this.
Yeah, I mean, you might want to keep one internally, and you know, as an agent, maybe you say, but you don't really want to put it on. You know, I would not put it out there on a list of bad vendors list, because then the bad vendor, even though they're not ethical, can come back and say, well, you're saying bad things about us. We're going to go after you. You're making us lose business. So, I putting a bad vendor list out there is not, you know, in writing is not a good idea. Yeah, I mean the problem is the roofers are coming out and they're like, look, you have this damage, and these people have old roofs. Of course, they want a new roof, so of course they trust the roofer over the insurance company. It's usually a separate form for assignment of benefits. So they're telling them to sign this for them to take care of it. So it's not. I don't believe it's actually in the wording of the appraisal. And if it is, it'd probably be like a separate initial where they'd have to initial separately. So I just make sure, like I said, when you're talking to vendors who come into your office, just make sure they're not making them do the assignment of benefits. Yeah, and that's an issue too. That the people are like, they don't want to pay for an inspection. They'd rather have the person, the third party vendor comes out and said, we'll take everything, it costs you nothing. Yeah, that sounds very attractive to them. But they're not realizing in the long run that that's going to be very expensive to them, because that's just going to raise their premium. So yeah, that sounds great at the time of loss. It's not so great down the road when their premium starts going up. That's right. So Brandy says it's your job as an agent to convince the customer to get a roof inspection. And I know people don't want to put any money out of pocket. They just want everything taken care of and everything to go away. But yeah, it's really, you want to talk to them, because you want to explain to them, look, this sounds great, but what's going to happen in the long run is they're going to inflate your claim, which is going to raise premiums. So it's going to cost you more in the long run. Are you looking for a list of our vendors? Because we can get you a list of the vendors that we recommend. We can get out some phone numbers to you guys and of the restoration companies we're using, if you'd like.
Yeah, I think Jennifer indicated that she was going to do that.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Well, they're saying to give. Someone's saying to give a list of 3 to 4 to choose from. That's not a bad idea. Palm Beach Photo Insurance Companies. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we have a few vendors, so you don't have to recommend a vendor. You could recommend 2 or 3 of the vendors, as long as you know they're reputable. I have some agents who told me they've worked with vendors. They know they don't do assignment of benefits, so they recommend them even though it's not on their carrier list. So if you're asking the right questions and you've had good experience with them, you could recommend 2 or 3. But usually they're probably on one of the carriers' okayed list, I'm sure. So we will get you a list of vendors. Our YouTube channel is under American Traditions IC. Hold on one second. I will see if I can pull that up for you. And I will give you a link in a second here. Okay, I am going to be putting a link in for you in the chat box. So there's our YouTube channel. We just uploaded a new what to do in the event of a claim, which added the assignment of benefits language. And once we get the other link up, I would subscribe to our YouTube channel, so as soon as we get the next video up just about assignment of benefits, you'll have that. You'll get notified, so you can go ahead and download that one or link to our YouTube channel. I don't know if we have any marketing. Let's see. Okay, so Jennifer posted the slideshow to our Jurger MGA. So actually, we don't have to email those out. If you just go to our Jurger MGA website, we do have the slides available now for you guys. I don't think we have any marketing material available. Maybe it's something we can look into for you. We do have a what to do in the event of a claim handout that is in the policy jacket. I wonder if we can maybe get a copy of that to you, because it has some information about assignment of benefits in there.
Maybe we can post that in the bulletin section.
Yeah, Jennifer might be able to put that on. Let's see. Okay, so she's going to post that as well, and it's basically like a 2-page handout which talks about what to do in the event of the claim, safety steps to follow, and then it does talk a little bit about assignment of benefits in there as well and why they don't want to sign that. And I don't see any other questions. Do we have any more questions? Do we get them all? Like I said, it started scrolling off a little quickly, so. So I guess somebody would have to actually put that together. Looking for a website where we can rate vendors. And it's Jennifer, can they post that to their website? I believe so, but let me check. Would that be okay? Oh, sure. Yeah, the YouTube channel is public, so yeah, feel free to show them any of the slides. And yes, we can share. You can share it on your website. So yeah, if the handout, if you want to share on your website, that's fine. The YouTube videos, if you want to download them, or if you want a copy of them, or you just want to link it to your link it to the YouTube channel. Usually, if you just link it to the YouTube channel, is easiest for you guys. And you can use both videos, that's fine. The second video, which is assignment of benefits, is really meant to be shared out on social media, so it's kind of a fun thing to watch, or some animation, you know, so we kept it kind of fun so it's not so boring. So that would be a really good one to share as well. And if there's, let's see if there's any other questions. I think that's about it. Just want to let everyone know we do have our marketing meetings that we have. So if anybody has any topics they would like for their next online marketing webinar, for those of you who have joined them, feel free to email me if you have any topics that are burning on your mind, and we will be doing a next one probably in the next month or two about whatever you guys want to know about marketing your business online, whether it be Facebook, SEO, ranking your blog posts, reputation management, you know, anything you can pretty much think of, we can put a webinar together for you. So if you guys want to send me a webinar, or if you have a better email you'd like me to contact you with, because I know some of you have told me you haven't gotten the notifications for those, so you can send that to me as well. I'll put my email one more time in the chat box. And I think that's about it. So I'll stay on just for a few more moments in case anyone has any additional questions. But again, if you have any ideas for any marketing webinars, send them to me. We've done several Facebook, but you know, I know some people have asked about Facebook. Again, we can do more Facebook training if that's what you guys want. And I think we are all set. Like I said, we try to keep you on about 30 minutes, and we went over 4 minutes. So have everyone have a great Friday, and thanks for attending.
All right, thank everyone.
I'm going to just leave it for a few more moments and see if anyone asks anything. And I think...
Great job, Stacy.
Oh, thank you. Looks like we didn't have too many glitches. Looks like it went pretty smooth.
Yeah, it sure does.
All right, I'll give it one more minute, and then I'll go ahead and shut it down. And everyone will have a replay link, so everyone can watch the replay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the key is education, and this is a very important part of it.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully we kept it flowing. I try to keep it interesting. Okay.